Oi, you know what time it is? You're tuned in listening to Dry That Aussie Metal Guy. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his content when it drops. And remember, stay brutal, you mad dogs. Roof!
G'day, how you all going? It's Dry That Aussie Metal Guy here with Crank.com and now with Cranium Radio. So tonight, wherever you are, it's a great pleasure that I'm getting to have a chat with Morten Sorenson of Amaranthe, who are due to release The Catalyst out February 23rd via Nuclear Blast. Thank you very much for joining me, Morten.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here, and good morning to you guys.
Yeah, no worries. No, must be an absolute pleasure to get this album out. I did get a chat with Elize back when you dropped the Manifest album, and oh, absolutely fucking, that album was a killer album, one of the best albums of that year for me anyway. It was a highlight that year. But this Catalyst, man, what I've heard off of this album so far is absolute ripper, man. Can you tell me a little bit about the songwriting process for this album?
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing has really changed in the whole process. It's been as the same way as we normally do it. You know, Olaf and Elise prepares the actual like the song, the hooks, and like the basic skeletons, and then we head to the studio, and I work simultaneously while they're finalizing the songs. I work with the like with the what do you call it, the forms as well, you know, why during recording the drums, the actual songs are finalized, you know, so that's when we decide, oh, it's gonna be a bridge here, or it's gonna be a double chorus, what is it gonna be here, and so on. So there's a lot of creativity happening in the studio actually. So compared to many other bands, we like to spend a little extra time in the studio for having so basically we spent almost 3 months this time
Oh, wow.
in the studio. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have
And
taken a fair bit of time off your touring schedule as well, because you're so bloody active on the touring as well.
well, yeah, it did actually. We had to postpone our US tour that we had originally planned, unfortunately. But yeah, we came back anyway. But yeah, it was a really cool and very creative process this time, and everybody was in a super good place and very hungry. You know, we had the whole pandemic thing going, so during the last 3 years or so, we've had like one full on tour, and this album was supposed to like be the catalyst, you know, for the next many years, hopefully.
Yeah, and the vocals of Nils and Elize, I think it's like the third album in now, them working together. It's like they have this perfect harmony and balance in together. But now you've got Mikael come in because Henry stood back time with family, which is
Yeah.
totally understandable. I've chatted to a few musicians. Frank from Suffocation he's pulled out now for time with his family, and I totally understand. But the chemistry between Nils and Elize is unreal, between those cleans and the harmonies are absolutely spectacular. Like Manifest was good second album in, but this, it just feels like they've totally hit their stride together. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. There was a lot of magic moments in the studio, I would say. Really, I mean, it's their performances on some of these songs are just wow, you know, like goosebumps and everything. So even for us in the band. So yeah, for sure. Like it's also, I would say, more. I mean, it's always real, you know. It's never like not real, but it's I would say we might have kept more takes where like little imperfections, you know, like with the two vocals not completely glued, you know, together, you know. But you can like here there's a little bit of like this, like, you know, like when you record two vocals, sometimes they will end the sentences a little bit, you know, not exact same place, you know. They will do a little nuances a little differently, and that's kind of part of the magic actually, not having to be like too perfect, too like completely glued together. I mean, it's still very obviously it's very very good, very perfect-ish. But now it's a little bit more. I mean, it's a super modern metal sound, but it's more organic, you know, if you could say that.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And can you tell us a little bit about Mikael joining? I know he had toured with you guys and sang with you before, but tell us a little bit about him and him joining the band now, because he just, what I've heard, he's fit in just, it's seamless. Like his voice is unreal. So tell us a little
Yeah,
bit about that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we knew about Michael from way back. He was in a band called Engel, and we had them on as an opener in one of our European tours back in 2015. So we knew he was a great guy and great singer. His vocals with that band with Engel was fairly different, but we kind of like, oh shit, we heard some songs here and there where he like, oh, he could really do this. So when Henke left, we got another dude from more or less like the same part, you know, like exactly the same. They grew up like I guess like kind of the same place, and they had like the same influences, you know, and so they sound very similar actually.
They do. They
I
certainly
must
do.
say
It's
it.
seamless,
Yeah,
like not exactly the same, but they do. He just fits in so bloody well. I think it was that first song I
yeah,
heard, the
yeah.
single Damnation Flame, that I think, correct me
Mm.
if I'm wrong, was the first single, and I heard it and I
It
was
was, yeah.
like, yeah, this is gonna go bloody really well for you guys, and I was excited. Just it
Yeah,
just seemed to just grown and evolved, and you've always been this great band who had this great sound, and your drums, you just have this driving sound. It's like the heartbeat of Amaranthe at times. You know, you have the vocals, but then your drums behind it, it just has this uplifting, driving vibe to it. Tell us a little bit about your style and, you know, and how you play and approach things.
wow. Yeah, well, I mean, I come from like a maybe a little bit of a different background. I grew up like listening to super like technical death metal and all that stuff, and I played all that you know, like technical death metal stuff, and was into like fusion jazz and stuff, like super technical music. And um so I guess I always kind of liked to spice things up a little bit, you know, to not just play like the meat and potatoes, but like have a little bit of like a, you know, nice drum fills and make things smooth here and there, and while not obviously not getting in the way of the songs, you know. It's not a, I mean, it's mainly vocal driven music in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I like to look at the songs as some kind of build up, you know, like you need to build up the intensity usually throughout the songs. I mean, it's fairly short songs, so every second matters, literally,
Punchy.
you know.
Yep.
You cannot, yeah, yeah. And I mean, our approach is not very minimalistic. It's more like maximalism, you know. Like we want more, like kind of more is more in some ways, you know. Like certain things are kind of less, like the structures are pretty I would say not basic, but pretty simple usually, you know. So you gotta put in your creativity other places. So yeah, I mean, it's a matter of taste obviously, but yeah,
Yeah.
cool stuff, you know. I like to not show off, but I like to be creative and play what fits the music in a interesting, unique way, hopefully.
Oh, definitely. Tell us a little bit about that first track, "Damnation Flame," and the clip for it. You were was that in Poland? Did you just film that one? That looked like a pretty cool place to do a
Yeah,
film
we
clip, and
filmed
I
it in
love the animation with it as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We filmed it in Wrocław in Poland with the group of 13, and I mean they've done several videos for us already, and
Yeah,
yeah, they're really cool guys. And so it's like they have this, it's like this huge team. It's like they're called group of 13 because like this, their skeleton crew is basically 13 people. So I mean, in Poland, you know, it's Eastern Europe, so it's, you also get more for your money, pretty much. That's why a lot of people use the symphony orchestras, you know, for example.
Ah,
But they're really, really, really good, really, really good at what they're doing, and they're great guys, and they're super professional. So you you can always do some things that you would otherwise be impossible to do, you know, as a metal band, unless you have like a huge budget, you know. So
yeah.
here we were able to go to this castle with an entire team, and they brought a fake moon, and I don't know, I mean, a lot of lights and stuff, you know, and yeah, it's a fun video to do, and a kind of a fun song, you know, very different, like a
Yeah.
vampire theme, which is something we would never have thought about doing like just 2 years ago. So
Yeah, and I
yeah,
like how it was you can't to Michael. He's like standing over him. You drop the blood into him, and then he kind of starts out with that real
yeah,
heavy as well. It's a really well done film clip, and it was definitely a good one to kind of go off with as a first single off of the.
yeah, and also to showcase Michael, the new singer, you know, like coming out of the coffin and all that. So
Yeah, that's what I thought too. It was a really, really, really cool way to do it, you know, and kind of present him up to the masses there as well. Really cool film clip. All the film clips are being done really well. I did like the revision one as well. It kind of had some was it Warhammer vibe to it? So that
yeah,
3000 with
we
the
got this. Pretty much, we got this. It was a little bit of it's kind of random actually. We ended up with this big Warhammer robot. Um, Patrick Uleus, the director, you know, he was gathering all these people, and he was super hyped. I mean, I found this dude. He's like this big robot, and you know, he was so excited. And so yeah, he showed up with his whole costume. You know, he built it himself. So it's this dude who's super dedicated to, I don't know, like all this cosplay stuff, and you know, so he made this whole thing himself, and he was having a super hard time during the video carrying all this stuff. You know, was pretty heavy. Just walking a few steps, you know, was quite demanding.
Definitely quite demanding. And some of those cosplay guys, man, some of those outfits, they put so much time and effort
Yeah,
into it, just looks unbloody real. And that's another thing.
yeah,
I'm a mad gamer. Amaranth's music, man, like gaming and rocking out to some of those games are absolutely unreal. And the whole futuristic vibe on this album, I know it's something you guys have come back to, but also I'm noticing, like I even noticed with Olaf saying it, that the concept with the album that each song is about change from a different
mhm.
perspective. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, like a catalyst. You know, it can obviously there's more layers to this
Yeah.
on a global scale and on a personal level. I mean, you can see in the world what, like, it's like things are changing quite rapidly, and obviously they were always changing. It's nothing new, but they change it now in a very different way. Now we have the whole AI thing, and you know, that's also its own catalyst,
Yeah.
if you would, you know. And who knows what will happen, you know. It doesn't have to be all bad, but definitely also some pretty eerie stuff is going to happen. There's no doubt about it.
It's going to be a lot
uh,
worse than Golem generated metal bands.
oh wow.
Have you?
I think so.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, for us as a band as well, you know, it's the catalyst. Like the music is a catalyst for us, for our creativity, and it's a this. I mean, it's almost impossible to get into all these layers with this short amount of time. So this is like the on a bigger scale. It's like, yeah, um, it's about change. You know, things are changing. Nothing ever remains the same, and yeah,
Yeah, well,
it's very clear.
as you touched on
Even with
COVID with Manifest, you dropped COVID Manifest out during the COVID time, and those 3 years since then would have felt like a whole bloody
yeah,
lifetime as well. You're talking about change. The whole world's gone through a change coming out of that as well. You know, even coming to the music scene, the way people are consuming music, and they had this nervous energy about going back to shows and everything like that as well. Things are rolling along great now, but it took a fair bit, and there's just so much change in the bloody world. It's hard not to talk about it, and The Catalyst is a great album.
Should talk about it. I mean, we should be aware of it. Otherwise, we're just gonna look back in 10 years and see what the fuck happened. You know, you have to be there when it happens mentally. You know, you cannot just take a, you know, you cannot just sit on the back seat and just, oh, where is this going? You also have to, you know, be part of this. You have to
be part of the change,
and yeah, be an active part, and so, I mean, who knows where we're heading? Is there gonna be like a fucking war, or is it just like a storm in a glass of water? Who knows? I mean, we'll have to see that, and I mean, look back from sometime in the future, and we'll understand this whole time in a different way. So
exactly, we need some bloody positivity and some uplifting music, that's for sure, at a time like this. And your band has always been one to deliver it. I've been absolutely, like, ever since I come across, I think 82nd all the way when I first come across you guys, and then went back and got into all your back collection, then end up having a chat to Elize once the Manifest album. And it's something that I've always found, like, it's a great power metal band, and it has the heavies, but it also has this, like, as I said before, this uplifting sound and feel to it. You know, is this something intentional with the band as well, to have those sharp metal pop choruses that are easy to sing along and also kind of make you feel good through them? Some, you have those moments of introspection, but a lot of the music does. It makes me feel really good and like, fuck, man, we can conquer this shit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be empowering. It's not supposed to take you down. You know, when I have a good time, obviously, and we are having a great time, like, along with the audience. Every show we play, you know, it's always a big party. It's like a shit ton of energy, like, from both sides, from us and from them. It's I mean, it's amazing. And the songs, of course, there's a lot of like, big bombastic positive choruses and all that makes you feel great if you allow it to, you know.
Exactly, it definitely does. You were talking about tours. You got a huge tour at the moment. You're about to kick off, I think, February 21st there with Dragon Force and Infected Rain. Already sold out a whole heap of shows through Europe there. Must be excited about not only getting out on the road there, but playing some of the new album to people as well. Is there a track you're really keen to get out and kind of play off of the new album?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna play a lot of new tracks. We're gonna at least like 5, 6 new tracks on this tour, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Probably mostly the title song, The Catalyst. I think it's gonna be a killer.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to let you get about to the rest of your interviews there, Morten. This has been an absolute pleasure. Everybody go out, grab The Catalyst. It does come out February 23rd via Nuclear Blast. Do you have any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in there, my friend?
Well, yeah, I mean, as always, I mean, deeply sorry that we haven't been to Australia yet. Yeah.
We'll get over it. Everybody go bloody grab the album, put it #1. That's what you need to do. Then Amaranthe will bloody come over here. That's a fact. Buy the albums, support the band, and then they'll come and buy tickets when they do.
Exactly, right? Yeah. I think there's a big chance we might come over either this year or early next year. So
awesome. Yeah, everybody's coming at the moment. It is bloody great. I can't wait to see you guys live. Look, thank you so very much. You have a lovely evening, Morten. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Oi, you're tuned in to Jai, that Aussie metal guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.